Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Misfit Podcast, episode number Infinity. We are here at Misfit HQ, going to bring you guys some very exciting updates. We're not going to talk about cycles and workouts and things like that for once in our lives. We're going to update you all on what to expect in 2019 for Misfit Athletics. And I don't think we really need to sell anything before this. We can just kind of go into all the changes and features and exciting things coming.
Gear?
Who wants to talk about, well, gear's part of it. It's all part of it.
Oh, you're right.
All this is part of it. Get with it.
Get with it.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
You are so
I think I need to leave.
This is 2019, Hunter.
Yeah.
Okay?
Is it?
2018 is long gone.
Resolutions out the window.
Yeah,
2 seconds into the podcast.
Yep.
So before we get to the really super exciting announcements, what about Open Prep Camp? Big thing coming 2019. Everyone's pissed at us last year.
February 2nd and 3rd, Misfit HQ with a special Misfit HQ Super Bowl party.
What?
Sunday evening, which is always off the hook. It's always some side bets going on. We got random couches. We don't know where that came from all over the gym. Nice big projector. So even if you don't want to work out, you can pay for the camp, skip it, and come to the Super Bowl party on Sunday night.
Who's in the Super Bowl this year,
Timmy.
though? Let's take a second.
Timmy Brody.
Who's in the Super Bowl this year?
Steelers.
This is your one chance to call your shot.
Podcast canceled. It's not gonna be the fucking Ravens. Okay, that's who it's not gonna be.
Last time everyone said it wasn't going to be the Ravens. It was the fucking Ravens.
It's been too long.
Yeah, it has. Who?
Rams, Patriots.
I mean, this is going on the record.
That's a throwback.
That's what
That
I
is.
wanna see
Wow,
it.
I would like that, actually.
Hopefully they play in those yellow and blue jerseys.
You go first.
Sports playoffs. Name 4 teams in the playoffs.
The Mighty Ducks versus...
Yeah, Ducks and Patriots.
All right.
Damn Ducks.
I'll take the under on that, too.
Oh man. Who's the 4th team in the NFC? Who's the team that the Bears?
The ham sandwiches.
I'm gonna say Bears v Chiefs.
I'm going to be real boring and just go Saints and Chiefs. They're just going to have to battle like
Battle of zero defense.
31-38 or something like that in the Super Bowl. No defense, all offense.
61 to 58.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Chiefs and Kansas
No
City.
defense allowed.
So you'll be able to watch the Bears Super Bowl game here at Misfit
Patriots.
HQ,
In Portland, Maine.
February 3rd.
Sign up now.
sharpentheaxeco.com.
Okay. Next on the agenda, what's happening before that? Wadapalooza. We're all going.
Yes.
Not all. Most of us are going.
Stop. Listen.
Most of us are going to sunny Miami.
One more and I'm leaving.
Okay.
All right, see ya.
You suck.
What's the plan? What's the plan for
Not hard enough.
for Wadapalooza for Misfit?
We're going to have a booth there, which is pretty exciting.
Yes.
We have never had a booth presence at an event of this magnitude before, so I'm pretty excited to do that. We'll have a bunch of new exclusive Wadapalooza gear.
I'm surprised you didn't burst up in flames when you said that.
What's that? Which part of that?
Jeez, thanks. The gear is cool. That's what I meant to say.
I must have missed something.
I don't get it.
Am I? Am I not speaking into it? Is this better?
Very nice.
All right, good. I'll make sure I breathe into it. But a bunch of new exciting gear. We're going to be hanging out. Athletes will be stopping by the booth to check out and chat with you guys. So should be a pretty good time. And plus, we're always down to hang out at these booths. So excited to have you.
Have them?
Have them. All of them.
They're having us.
Yeah.
Either way.
We're going to be at Wadapalooza. We're going to have a booth. We are going to sell some awesome gear and talk shop, programming, remote coaching. We'll have Sherb talk about the Team Misfit stuff because Hunter won't be there.
True.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff going on. Lots of giveaways and some good deals and perks for anybody that's volunteering or competing at Wadapalooza. Get some big deals at the booth.
That's pretty good. That's pretty neat.
Yep.
Somewhat enticing.
Anyone want to let Hunter do this? Not anyone. We'll just make Hunter do it. Give us an update on where we're at with the brand new website, Team Misfit. It's been live for, what, a month and change or so?
Yeah, about a month.
Yeah, and what's going on with that?
Yeah, no, it's doing well. We've been pretty consistently updating with new content, mostly the articles and blog posts. We've started kind of a Movement Fault Friday on our Instagram channel. So if you're a coach looking for some quick tips for your affiliate classes, specifically classes in your gym, whatever, we've been posting those every Friday, just different kind of common faults we see with members. Basically just meant to add some value to you, think about coaching in a different way, and just make your product better. So
I think it's important to say that that's for the coach. You know, a lot of times in the past, most of our content's been for athletes. Hey, athlete, how to improve this. It's just to give a coach a quick thing they can practice with their athletes to say, all right, you know, maybe you're swinging a kettlebell wrong, or you don't understand how to use your hamstrings on a rower.
Right.
These are tips for your coaches, not necessarily for your athletes.
Team Misfit is for the affiliate owners and coaches.
Correct.
Yep. And that's what the content's aimed towards. Of course, if you were an athlete and you watch some of that, you could pick up stuff for yourself.
Of course.
But the content is driven towards the leaders of the community, which is pretty cool, something we haven't done a lot of in the past. So it's a completely different branch off of Misfit.
We're also super into anyone offering suggestions for future Movement Fault Fridays. I mean, one thing that Hunter and I have been trying to do is make sure that we have Handex, is that we have a variety of topics, but if there's something specific like, hey, how do you guys teach this at HQ? Or how would you tell a coach to teach this? Like, we're always open to suggestions. So if you have something, you can send it to Hunter or myself using our Instagram channel, probably the best way to get a hold of us and ask us, hey, how do you teach X, Y, or Z?
Yeah, and we try to interact with you guys. We respond to pretty much all the Instagram messages. I might regret that, but whatever. I'll still respond, make sure everybody kind of, if you have questions, like we're really, really open to answering that in whatever medium you want to submit a question to through the site, Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
And that's at Team Misfit Gyms on Instagram?
Yep, correct.
Yep. Team Misfit Gyms on Instagram, Team Misfit on Facebook. So we've already made some pretty cool changes to the programming too, as far as like providing weekly overviews. Some people asked for that. So coaches can easily print off and just see like a week at a glance and then take a more detailed look at each day. And then we've also got, for the competitor programming, like an explanation of where they're at in the cycle, how it corresponds to like kind of the Misfit Athletics programming. And then for GPP, we've got some pretty cool tips and what the like kind of the theme of the month is for that. So just for January already kind of adding some pretty cool features to the programming. So
I think people really should get over to teammisfit.com and download that sample programming because it's not just programming.
Yep.
The way that Hunter and Matt have laid it out, it looks really good. And it's got a lot of really useful information on it. It's not just, 21.59 and on your way.
Yeah,
that's kind of that's the whole idea behind the website itself.
Yeah,
so.
no, and that's a good, we also get pretty regularly questions, hey, can I get a sample of your programming? Like we have a full week of both programs available on the site. Download it, use it, run it at your gym for a week, run both of them. You have basically two free weeks of programming that you can run at your gym, see if you like it, which one you like, and help make a decision if you actually want to like. And
that new cycle to get your gym ready for the Open, that's correct me if I'm wrong, but that's January 21st, that Monday. This is the Monday following Wadapalooza. We're starting a new cycle, and that's a really good time to
really ramp up.
Yeah, it's a really good time to jump in and get your
first week is, if you are a subscriber, you have access to that right now. You have that first week of cycle 4, and then February will be all kind of leading up into the Open, starting on the 21st.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
That is a lot of stuff.
And that's just one website. Let's get to misfitathletics.com.
Yeah.
Lots of big things happening.
Tuned in for.
Lots of big things happening in 2019 that we've been planning out. 2 major things we want to announce today, which can kind of change the way that the blog's being used. The first one, pretend drum roll, is we are launching an app, a mobile app, post-Open. It's going to be kind of the first launch of it with some limited features. We'll talk about what is in there, and then we'll kind of talk about what is going to be added to there. So first of all, the app will be available for iOS or Android, which is huge. So
sweet.
Unless you have old Flippy, you basically can get your hands on the app.
If you got Flippy, you can go to misfitathletics.com though. Ted tested that.
That's true. And that app will be free to download. It is free. You'll be able to log in with your existing accounts. There's nothing else you need to do other than logging in with what you're already doing. You'll have the ability to comment, view times, do all those things that you already do on the website, but in your app. And our big goal down the road for the app is to enable an actual leaderboard for you guys. So we're going to integrate the workouts into a leaderboard style format down the road so that you guys can actually compare scores to each other. And we'll see how in depth we get with our ability to put like divisions in or whatever, but at the very least, a very simple, straightforward leaderboard with what has been written as the programming. We hope to make that available down the road. That's what we're working on now. The app also allows you guys to have faster access to anything we are trying to get to you, whether it's updates, new media pieces on our YouTube channel. We could link stuff like that in there. And we can also send things like a push notification to people who want it when the new blog post is up. So if you're waiting and waiting instead of refreshing the website, get that notification. And you can go check your programming, whatever programming you're using. I think that's pretty cool. I just remember
if you want it.
If you want it, of course. You can always turn notifications off. It's always an option.
Man, I know for me that if
like
I still followed the blog and well, I can't even follow the blog, but let's say I could.
Pretend like I could.
Was really trying to compete, like being able to just swipe that straight into the post is the convenience factors through the roof.
Yep.
I love it.
And Ted had a few of us beta tests some of the early features, and the being able to swipe and see your programming super clear, like just click on it. It's already there. You swipe through it. There's no extra additional noise. It's like straightforward, very well presented. I'm excited to see what it looks like.
I do like that word you came up with, extraditional. That's actually really interesting. Yeah, it's extra and additional. You made extraditional.
Formerly traditional.
I may use that.
You should. Copyright.
Yeah, and I just remember the old days of trying to get my programming on .com was refresh. It's time. Where is it? 7 past. Where is it? It's 10 past. Where is it? You don't have to do that with us. Like, we're pretty much on the dot with it anyway, but now you don't have to stare at your phone. You'll just get that notification in your pocket and boom, you'll be able to check things out for tomorrow. So I think that's pretty cool. Or if you're overseas for that morning or that afternoon or wherever you are in the world following, we'll let you know when it's ready.
That'll be regardless of Hatchet, Masters, everything. Every program we have will be on the app.
Yeah, your program will be available and you'll hopefully get a notification for it. So things like that we'll be using the app for. So hopefully it makes your experience with us a lot easier. We know most of you guys check the website via mobile usage anyway. So we're trying to make that as clean and simple for you as possible for free. So just trying to make your experience a little better. Anyone else want to add to the app? Ted, am I missing anything? Good start with it, right?
The leaderboard, eventually down the road, that's going to be sweet. To like tie in like the community. We get people who comment on the blog, like through the Facebook comments. We get people who are in the private Facebook groups for the complete members who like post their scores. But I think that app will make it super easy to like, and then you can actually, shuffle, see where you actually stack up against those people for them, and really like tie the whole community together.
Athletes have enough shit to worry about. Convenience factor. Anytime we can make some kind of change that makes things easier for an athlete and they don't have to worry about stuff. I mean, even our athletes that have their sheets are going to prefer to click the app and have it right in their face and then laugh when we've taken all the time to change their programming.
And they don't care.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Remote coaching, very useful for a select few.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of remote coaching, something we're going to be offering, or we are offering now, we just haven't made a big announcement about it. We've had a lot of requests given the new formats of the competitions around the year for the game season, team remote coaching. So a lot of different requests, and it's not the simplest thing in the world for us to figure out how to coach a team. So we've laid out some outline about what it's going to look like, and we actually have team remote coaching available for teams of 3 or teams of 4. It can be mixed gender, it can be whatever. And we're going to actually lay out what goes into remote coaching a team on the website. We'll put the details up. Essentially, in a nutshell, each team will have a representative, if you will, that
point of contact.
Point of contact. Thank you. That'll relay the team's needs back and forth. If there's some video work needs to be done, that's fine. And then the coach for that team will be in charge of building programming that, attacks everybody's needs, wants, desires, and allows the team to kind of grow as a unit as opposed to trying to train 4 individuals. And that'll be the goal. And it can be, we're doing different amounts of time. If you only wanted it for, what's our minimum time?
3 months. 3 months, yeah.
3 months. So that gives you enough time to prep for any big event that you guys all might be training for. 3 months, 6 months, or a year, the different amounts you can take on. Depends how long you guys are committed as a team and what you're looking to do. But that is available. Contact us, reach out on that website. There's a form you can fill out to apply for remote coaching and get you started on that. Anyone else want to add to that?
It's exciting because a lot of these athletes who had individual aspirations now are kind of going in that direction of I want team stuff, but knowing that
a lot of them,
and they have the opportunity to go with so many more sanctioned events to decide, hey, I'll do this one individual and do this one team. And you know, if you have a serious team of people that and something geographical that makes sense, you can go close. Like the money you could have spent maybe traveling can now be spent on getting some actual eyes on your team and getting some improvement, because a lot of people, you know, for lack of a better term, coach themselves. Like you're training with these people and you're looking over and go, yeah, it looks good. Then you move on, but you're not actually getting trained eyes.
I think there's a lot of value in having like another set of eyes too on a group of individuals. And like we kind of learned a little bit at Misfit Athletics, and it's become pretty apparent. Like you have 3 really fit individuals does not correlate directly to a really fit team.
Well, I think it's a good base.
It's a good. I mean, obviously you want that, but you need to have.
It's important too that you're getting objective opinions on things, because sometimes being training partners and hanging out together creates subjective opinions, or people are battling back and forth, going, "I'm right, no, I'm right."
There's all kinds of biases built in with training partners and things,
and stuff like this. A lot of times, our job as remote coaches is not so much the changing of things or movement efficiency. It's talking someone through something or having them understand how to approach something appropriately. And I think that's where the most value lies in this, is that someone can actually get an objective opinion on something, rather than being, I think this, and then it just be like, well, I'm not going to do what you say because you're hard-headed and you always say, let's do this route, and it doesn't pan out. So now you have the opportunity to actually get some...
You thinking about someone in particular? Using someone as an example?
No, I don't have anybody in particular, but
I mean,
just something to think about.
Group dynamics in general are such like a fascinating topic. And when you have somebody to push off, like be the bad guy or put their foot down and say something, that can change the group dynamic. You can commiserate together like, oh, Hunter's making us do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
It's not so-and-so, the like team captain is deciding, well, I don't like this style of workout.
Right.
I only like this. I'm going to put my bias into it. You get to shift that off.
Take some of the burden off the athletes.
And we made sure that once you actually split it up as a team, the cost, that it's cheaper, quite a bit cheaper than remote coaching per month. And what that does is it allows you to go into the scenario where you are getting your programming in advance, you're getting it changed for your strengths and weaknesses, and you're having somebody take a look at, your movement efficiency. So it's sort of that like group remote coaching. And then once it's time to really like hunker down and like get into more team events, you get to have sort of a seamless transition there.
And we wanted that like kind of 3-month like minimum, so to speak, not to like extract money, but it's like that's probably like the minimum amount of time you need to like really build a team, get like that group dynamic, and
I thought you could just put
out
4 people out.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I'll say about that is, with the amount of competitions we have for teams, it is kind of also an investment. There's money to be made out there. If you have a team that's going to tour around and do 5 or 6 of these events in a season,
you could clean up, have a real salary.
You don't have to win them. You can just finish in that top 5, top 10, a lot of these events, and make some money. And that remote coaching can pay dividends on itself if you're really committed to that and that's what you're looking to do. So just something to think about. Travis's team just cleans up $30K in the last event just by being Travis. And
some does it. It does pay
one event.
Anyway, there's money out there to be had if you want to take it serious and scoop some stuff up. So it could be worth it. The last, I think, announcement, unless you guys want to add to anything that I've forgotten, is I think probably the biggest one, just because this is sort of the first time that we've actually steered somebody away from the blog for their season training. And throughout the year, in the past, we've had cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3, cycle 4. We go into the open. We have open style training. For those who don't qualify for regionals, which is the vast majority, we have the off-season like dual cycle. But then those who did qualify would do regionals prep, and then beyond that, games prep. But that was just kind of part of the season. It flows in an order that fits with what was once a very standardized year. Now things are all willy-nilly, if you will. They're all over the place. They're crazy. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I'm supporting your willy-nilly.
Much obliged. So, because things are willy-nilly, you got to be able to train at different points of the year for your competition. I'm trying to get us back on track here.
Sorry.
Comment. No, it's fine.
Stop.
I made the silly comment. And so what we're introducing to everybody is a competition track. And we're going to launch the first one right after the open, probably around the same time we launch the app. And what that's going to look like is 6 weeks of prep, sort of similar to what you've seen, if you have seen it in the past, to regionals prep. And then the final week, the 7th week, will be a very focused pre-competition deload week to get you
like a taper, essentially.
Exactly, a taper to get you prepared, ready to compete within a couple days of that that template ending. And so we're gonna have people essentially download this competition program that we'll have done ahead of time for you guys when you're 7 to 8 weeks out of your competition. And this will be kind of written for those sanctional events that are, like I said, post-open up until, was it June is the last one? The Granite Games, I think?
That sounds right.
Something around there.
I think that's right.
And so you'll have the option to buy this whenever you want. You can then switch from the blog to your specific competition track programming, and you'll follow that up into your competition. It's a way that we can get what was once regionals prep and now sanctional prep out there and get the timing right for everybody so that you guys have a way to fully prepare. And we also get to pay attention year round to what the trendy movements are that we keep seeing come out in competitions. Like you see devil presses coming out 10 times. You see, I mean, swimming is going to be a no-brainer. Sandbags.
Yeah.
Like we get to pay attention to what the trendy, like sexy new movements that everyone wants to use in their workouts. We get to kind of tailor this competition prep for you guys to be as thorough as possible. Plus, not that we have a ton of inside information, but we do hear grumblings more than the average group. So we know typically what to expect out of a lot of these events and can help you guys prepare for them. So it's kind of the first time we're going to make you steer off the blog right in the middle of what you're doing and then refocus on something completely different that'll prepare you more specifically for your major competition. And once that's done, you can kind of jump back in or try to refocus for whatever it is you're doing after that, whether it's a qualifier or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's coming, and that's coming real soon. We'll probably put a sample week out there at some point for people to see kind of what it looks like and try to talk about it a little more without giving too much away.
And then once you hit your event, you just hop right back on the blog, hatchet, whatever you're doing. So it's designed to just be that kind of preparation for that competition. You're peaking for your time of year, your competition, and then just back to regular training
and
afterward.
Then back to regular training up until games prep. So if you qualified as a team or an individual, we will have games prep for people. But otherwise, then you're kind of almost in off-season mode for a short amount of time after your sanctional event's over, and then you're refocusing for the Open in October. So then you're back to Open prep again.
Yep.
This first year especially is just really throwing us all for a loop with the way the schedule changes, and it will get simpler. Post October Open 2019, it becomes more back to having some structure, but right now it's a little bit out of control. So for those who are like, hey, how do I prepare? We get these questions all the time. How am I preparing for Wadapalooza? How am I preparing for Granite Games? Like we will have something for you, and it's coming out within a couple months. So post Open competition track out there for teams as well. Teams can buy it too. You don't need just remote coaching. We'll have a team version of the track. Best we can do it with the information that we have. So
one thing that I think is important to address is with the changes to the game season, you now have someone who is trying to qualify for the elite division to then try to qualify for the CrossFit Games. And sort of that in between the Open and the elite division are all of these other competitions where they have RX and scaled and masters and intermediate and teen and whatever they decide to call it. It doesn't really matter what they call it. And what we're going to do for people that are in between there is we're going to create a template that takes you through what it would be like to add some extra monostructural in and the types of lifestyle habits that CrossFit Games athletes have that kind of like you can take the blog, you can take the regular blog, you can continue to follow Hatchet, which we think a lot of athletes should. Add this stuff in, add the recovery stuff in, use that template along with following the blog to get yourself ready for a competition so that you know what it's like to sort of go through that competition track, but keep the volume a little bit more manageable.
Yeah.
Like live that lifestyle, add some extra stuff in that will be in this template that we're going to release. And what that does, again, is it just sort of creates that, it bridges the gap a little bit. It puts you, like, it takes you out of no man's land and makes you feel like you're on your way to being the type of athlete that you want to be.
Well, I'd say for a lot of people, this just reminds me of any time that HQ used to post like the day in the life of X, Y, or Z. They always show what they do for training, but they don't show a lot of the other stuff they do. And sometimes I think what people watch those videos for that reason exactly. It's like, what's the edge they have? What do they do to give this edge? And now you have the opportunity through us working with games athletes to know the little things they do day in and day out, when we can now provide to you to hopefully add to your arsenal of things you do day in and day out to improve your capacity or improve your fitness or whatever your goals are. So I think to me, it's that like missing piece that you won't try to see when you watch one of those documentaries, and now you get to actually know what they are.
Sometimes they show them, but they're so simple that people overlook them. They're simple, but they're substantial.
Oh, look, they're cooking breakfast for themselves, not going out to eat breakfast. Like, that's
people
a thing
overlook
they do.
that. They're looking for when does he take the magic pill? I'm waiting. But they're not. They're overlooking all the little things that some of them are actually doing right in front of their face, and they're not paying attention to it. But we'll just highlight them.
Yeah, exactly. Just bring that to a forefront. Like these are things that maybe you didn't pick up on that we've picked up on. We want you to now pick up on.
Yeah, you don't know they slept 10 hours at night in their secret in a 58-degree room or whatever it is.
Their secrets live inside of consistency. And we'll try our best to outline what that consistency actually looks like.
Yeah. We just covered like 6 or 7 topics in a pretty short amount of time. Hopefully everyone who watches this, if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can always post them up in the comments, Instagram, wherever. Just reach out to us. Shoot us an email. We want to make sure that this info gets out to everyone that's following and beyond. Make it as clear as possible for you guys. We want to see as many of you as possible up at HQ Open Prep Camp again, February 2nd and 3rd. It's coming right up. Come to Maine. It's beautiful up here this time of year. No, it isn't, but inside the gym is okay. So
snow can be like a novelty item for some people. Wow, look at that. It's falling from the sky.
It was not a novelty this morning. Backing out of my driveway.
My wet socks were such a novelty this morning.
Oh, this is so great.
I love dropping my toast into the snowbank this morning on the way out the door. That was a novelty. If it was just the grass, I would have picked it up and ate it.
Come to Maine, you can drop your toast in the snow. It's great.
It happens. I mean, day in and day out, you're bound to have something like that happen. You'll probably get lucky in the 2 days you're up here.
Hey, how about this? Here's how we sell it. If you dropped your toast in the dirt, you might not be able to eat it. You drop your toast in the snow, you pick that up.
I did eat it.
It's refreshing.
I did eat it.
Sherb would eat the dirt toast.
He's not wrong.
Peanut butter landed face up, though. If peanut butter landed face down,
peanut butter in the snow?
Not doing it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's true, man. But it was on warm toast, so it like melted in. Anyway, you won't have a toast in the snowbank problem. I can almost assure you of that.
We just deterred everybody.
Specialty
it's like,
thing.
well, I eat toast.
Camp is going to be fun.
Yes.
You'll learn a lot.
Yes.
We're going to go over gymnastics. We're going to go over barbell cycling. We're going to go over mentality stuff. We're going to go over everything you need to crush the open. And we're going to have a Super Bowl party and snow toast.
Yeah. All that's going to happen.
Yep.
Okay. Well, reach out with any questions, and we can't wait to drop the app for you guys and give you some samples of the competition stuff coming up. It's all coming very, very soon. Until next time, see you.